We're going to make a braised, couple of lamb shanks, braised. These are the ingredients that I'm using, which are a little different than the norm. Fresh thyme, fresh basil, carrots, onions, and celery, everybody uses. I'm adding some mushrooms for flavor, not to be eaten. Garlic, always goes with lamb. Some tomato paste and usually red wine, but I'm going with white wine. And we're going to season the lamb shanks first. We're going to dust them in flour, saute them, take them out, saute everything else, put everything together, put the liquid, the water, and not stock because the lamb is strong enough, and the white wine, and just let it braise until the lamb is cooked, which is a few hours away. So the first thing we're going to get out of the way is season up the lamb. And I take my salt and pepper mix. You can also have this ready to use, so you don't have to go salt and pepper. And if you like using garlic powder and onion powder also with a lot of items, just make a mix like that. So we're going to season up the lamb, both sides. And then we're going to dust it in flour. And why are we doing that? Because this is going to give body, and it won't be a watery braise when it's done, and I don't have to worry about thickening it up later. So if you do this now, you'll have a nice thicker liquid, a nice sauce when you're done. And we get a hot pot, nice and thick, the size that the food will just fit in. Always in cooking, use the size pot, not too big and of course not too small. So we're going to brown the lamb. Rather quickly. And that takes care of the first step. Now after this is browned nicely, we'll take it out and we'll take our chopped up mirepoix, the vegetables, and then brown them. And then we'll have a beautiful color later when this dish is finished. So just look at it, it'll take a few minutes, turn it, brown it, and take it out. So the lamb is not that simple because it's not a nice shape where it just lays nicely in the pan, so you have to keep on turning it, leaning one piece on the other. Try to brown it evenly all around. So that's good enough with the color. We'll just take them out right now. And now right in there, put the vegetables. And to make sure everything gets browned nicely, you can either do a little bit at a time or throw everything in there except the mushrooms. I don't want the mushrooms to give off any liquid, which would really prevent this from browning nicely. And we'll hold up on the herbs a little bit, but we'll be adding it to that. So now this will take another few minutes. I don't want to just do this gently. I want to get some color here. And if it's too dry in the bottom like that, just add a little bit more of your favorite oil or butter. If you like butter, go right ahead. It will give it that lovely flavor that we all enjoy. Okay. In a few minutes, I'm going to add the herbs to get as much flavor out of them as possible. And then the mushrooms, put the shanks back in there, add the tomato paste, which I'm going to put in here in a few minutes also. My flame, I have the highest flame possible. We're not here to cook the vegetables, we're here to just brown them, give them color. Because if these have color, then the sauce is going to have a nice color. Dark, not pale. Because it's all natural without adding any sugar color to this later. So between the tomato paste and the browning of everything, it should look very nice. Keep going like this, it'll still take a little while. Okay, now that we have pretty good color here, we're going to add the bay leaf and the thyme and the fresh basil and the mushrooms. A couple of minutes like this. I'll add the liquid, the water, the wine, the tomato paste, and then we'll lay the lamb shanks back in there. Let's reverse that. We're going to put the tomato paste in right now. And let that cook in there for a few minutes. Smells good. So if it smells good at this point, it can only help the lamb. I'm going to add the wine. And a little bit of water. But don't forget, we're braising. We're not poaching or boiling. So braising isn't in a lot of liquid. Okay. That color's nice and dark right now. So it can only get darker. Place the lamb back in there. Perfect sized pot. And now we cut the flame down to a nice simmer, as low as you can go. And that's what we need. We'll cover it. And I don't know, every 20 minutes or so, just turn the lamb, look at it. In a couple of hours, we're going to feel it. If it's not ready, it's going to take more time. So it can take a few hours. So just turn it every 20 minutes. Well, it's been about a half hour. And we'll just give it a turn. And I'm liking the color that's in there. Very slow, nice, bubbling. Keep it covered nice and tight. And we'll just wait. Well, it's another 45 minutes. And we're going to just turn it again. Still has a long way to go. The meat is nice and firm. And the color is great. Well, they've been cooking for 2 hours. And it's cooking fine, and the meat is starting to soften a little. And the color is great. And the taste, it's very sharp and lamby. I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon of my salt and pepper mix. So it gets into the meat. Well, we're 20 minutes shy of 3 hours, and let's see how this meat is. Look at that. It pulls right off. We're done. So that's taken 2 hours and 40 minutes. So we're going to remove the lamb shanks. And then we're going to strain the sauce through a chinois. Simple, just take everything and I'm going to press it through with a spoon. And what we have, just do this, keep pressing until all the sauce is out. Place the lamb shanks back into the clean pot. I will say, when I was straining the sauce, I was eating all the carrots. And there is just the right amount of beautiful sauce that will pour over the shanks. And later on, in a couple of hours when I'm ready to eat, I'll just turn it on, simmer it. It'll make it hot. That's perfect, the amount of sauce. The color's great, they look great, and they should taste great. Enjoy. Oh, and what would you serve with this? Since there's enough sauce in there, mashed potatoes would be great. Boiled potato, roast potato. I'm making a little whole wheat pasta and some broccoli.